Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Westendorf Field on the campus of the University of St. Francis for today's Crossroads League softball doubleheader featuring the visiting Bethel University Pilots and your St. Francis Cougars. And now let's meet the starting lineup. First for Bethel. Batting first at shortstop, number 7, Alyssa Fories. Batting second in center field, number 2, Morgan Bluebaum. Batting third in left field, number 10, Maddie Shaw. Batting fourth, the DP, number 13, Paxton Baker. Batting fifth at second, number 30, Peyton Rainier. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 33, Madeline Queen. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 0, Sonia Yoder. Batting eighth at third, number 17, Faith Douglas. Batting ninth in right field, number 1, Shelby White. And playing first base, number 16, Kyra Rainey. The head coach of the Pilots is Natalie Newell. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Cougars. Batting first at second base, number 80, Sam Baker. Batting second, the catcher, number 5, Peyton Eiliff. Batting third at third, number 00, Abby Rubakowski. Batting fourth, the DP, number 14, Haley Shaw. Batting fifth in left field, number 7, Madison Minnick. Batting sixth at first base, number 2, Macy Dowd. Batting seventh in right field, number 20, Joanna Gomez. Batting eighth at shortstop, number 1, Courtney Serber. Batting ninth in center field, number 25, Lena Vigiano. In the circle for the Cougars, number 10, Ellie Souter. The head coach of St. Francis is Brian Bullen.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The talent that's coming up now and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Developed for athletes of all sports, PS agility or overall fitness, our expert training staff will build a program that adapts to your schedule while maximizing your overall performance. Now accepting athletes 12 years old and up. Get started today. Schedule your free evaluation at psmsports.com/edge.
We welcome you into Westendorf Field, back again on the home turf for St. Francis softball as the Cougars are getting ready to take on Bethel for 2 games of a doubleheader here on this Monday afternoon. Bethel, we met the batting order for the Pilots, heard that before the game. Defensively for St. Francis, let's go through that once again. Minnick in left, Vigiano in center, and Gomez in right. Robakowski at third with Serber at short. Baker at second. Macy Dowd is playing first base. Peyton Eiliff, your starting catcher today for Haley Shaw, the designated player and pitcher in Game 1. Shot with a 2-2 overall record, making her 3rd start of the season, 14th appearance overall for Shaw. Holds a 2.55 earned run average. 33 innings pitched, 9 walks, 19 strikeouts on the year for the right-handed junior from nearby Leo High School. Alyssa Fories, Morgan Bluebaum, Madison Shaw, top 3 in the order for Bethel. Pilots come in at 6-30 on the year, 2-22 in the Crossroads League, while St. Francis has won 15 consecutive games coming into today, 21-3 in the conference, 25-7 on the year. First pitch is in for a strike, and we are underway at 3:03 with game number 1, right near 80 degrees here in Fort Wayne today. Back-to-back called strikes to Fories. Fories, 280 batting average. She has drawn 14 walks this year to lead Bethel in that category. This one floated and will get beyond the head of Serber and into left field. Leadoff hit for Bethel. And Voorhees is aboard at first. Head coach Natalie Newell in her first season at the helm for Bethel. Trying to help the Pilots come away with what would be a huge win or two today. Bethel, the bottom of the table in the Crossroads League. St. Francis with 2 wins today would jump into first place outright in the conference. This bunt out in front of home plate. Iliff's throw to first goes off the glove of Dowd. It'll be an error on St. Francis, and now Bethel with runners at second and third and nobody down, and that brings the 3 spot in the order. Madison Shaw up to the plate. Second and third, nobody down. Madison Shaw, the left fielder, standing in. And takes the first pitch, strike 0-1. Shaw, .339 batting average this year to lead Bethel. 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. She leads the Pilots in both of those categories as well. 1 ball and 1 strike now on Shaw. Designated player Paxton Baker due up next. 3rd meeting of the year between these 2 teams as Schott gets the strike. Back on March 30th, St. Francis winning 14-5 in 7 and then 12-4 in 6 innings. It was runs late in those games that ended up getting the win. On the ground to second, Baker is able to get the ball to first for out number 1. Run does score for Bethel to make it 1-0 on the RBI ground out. Blue Bomb moves up to third. So 1 down. Voorhees scores. And now the left-handed hitting designated player Paxton Baker is at the dish. Baker, .235 batting average this year. Takes outside from Schott to make it 2-0. Leadoff single, then a defensive error against the Cougars, leading to this first run. That one lands on a hop in front of Gomez in right field. Another run scores for Bethel to make it 2-0. So RBI single for Baker. And now Peyton Rainier with just 1 down. First pitch, strike 0-1 to Rainier. Rainier, .175 batting average this season with 3 RBIs. It's strike 2 does Schott. You know, look at Bethel's season overall, 0-12 in road games this year. They've lost 18 in a row coming into today, while St. Francis has won 15 consecutive games. But their 2 conference wins have come against teams that are in the upper half of the conference. They defeated Taylor 4-0 and also defeated Spring Arbor 9-4. Shows you anybody in this conference on any given day is capable of going and winning at least 1. Off speed and the strikeout for Schott. 2 down as Rainier goes down swinging, and it brings up the pitcher Madeline Queen. Queen also tied with the team high in home runs and RBIs. 2 homers, 18 runs driven in, tied with Madison Shaw for that total coming into today. She tries to help her own cause before she even takes the circle. First pitch ball, 1-0 to Queen. Freshman at the dish. Shot delivers, misses, now 2-0. Catcher Yoder would hit next from here in Fort Wayne. Queen right back to the circle, though, for Schott. She goes to first to end the top half of the first inning, but Bethel is on the board with 2 runs to start things And we'll meet the batting order for St. Francis when we come back to Fort Wayne. 2-0 start in favor of Bethel. SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Plenty warm today in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as we're back here at West Indoor Field. Bottom of the first inning, Sam Baker leading things off for St. Francis. Baker, then Peyton Eiliff and Abby Robakowski. Haley Schott hitting fourth, Maddie Minnick fifth, Macy Dowd in the sixth spot, Joanna Gomez hitting seventh, Courtney Serber batting eighth, and Lena Vigiano batting ninth. Defensively for Bethel, it's Shaw, Bluebaum, and White in the outfield from left to right. Douglas at third, Fories at short, Rainier at second, and Rainey at first. Yoder is behind the plate, catching Queen. The right-hander 0-6 record this season. She's making her fifth start of the year, 15th appearance overall. 6.7 ERA, 46 innings pitched, 15 walks to 11 strikeouts. Sam Baker leading things off for St. Francis in the bottom of the first inning. 2 runs on 2 hits for Bethel in the first. Also an error defensively against the Cougars. So we'll see how St. Francis adjusts and tries to make it happen at the plate. 8-0 last week. They won 11-3 and 8-0 in 5 innings over Grace on Saturday. Now 11-1 at home this year for St. Francis. 25 victories, including 15 in a row. Queen to face Baker. First pitch is up in the zone, ball 1. Sam Baker, leadoff batter, .330 batting average this season and a .423 on base percentage for Baker. 11 runs driven in. She's also drawn 17 walks. 2-0 to Baker. Baker catches the edge. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sam Baker, 11 runs driven in, but it's when she gets on base and is able to steal bases that really separates her. 3-1 on Baker. Nobody down, bottom of the first inning. 3-1 to Baker. Turn to lay down the bunt, takes a called strike, and it's now 3-2. Peyton Eiliff in the 2 spot. Will hit next. Full count. Queen with a 3-2. Baker on a line towards first, and foul. Count remains full at 3-2. .80 degrees in Fort Wayne today, and warmer temperatures. I think back to last week on Tuesday, it was in the 50s, high 40s, and now we're here at 80 just a week later. So complete 180 as the shade comes out before this 3-2 delivery. Baker see at least one more pitch. Good opening at bat for St. Francis in the bottom of the first inning. Queen. 3-2. Baker out towards center field, and underneath it, Bluebaum makes the catch. Leadoff batter is down after seeing 8 pitches for Baker. One away, and it brings up Peyton Iliff for St. Francis. Iliff, .311 batting average, but her on-base percentage near .440. 4 home runs, 22 runs driven in. Takes the first pitch, called strike, 0-1 from Queen. Those 2 runs in the first inning for Bethel, trying to set them up for success today. Again, they did find success early against St. Francis in their first 2 meetings of the season. This has popped out of play on the first base side, 0-2 on Iliff. Wind blowing out and blowing out towards right center field today. It's been gusting at times. As Iliff fouls this one straight back off the netting. Still 0-2. Up high in the zone to Iliff, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cougars 15 wins in a row, and they have scored at least 4 runs in every single one of those victories. But the offense coming through in a big way against Grace on Saturday. This is on the ground to short, throw to first, and a nice pick at first base by Rainey. 6-3 on the ground out for out number 2. 2 away, 3 spot in the order. Abby Robakowski has set the single season home run mark with 18 home runs now this year. .468 batting average, .516 on base percentage for Robakowski. She's also driven in 47 runs this season. First pitch misses outside to Robakowski, ball 1. 12 walks, 13 strikeouts. And turns, fires this one to third, and Douglas makes the catch. And St. Francis goes down in order in the bottom half of the first inning. To the top of the second we go, 2-0 Bethel with the early advantage on the Cougars.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard.
Top of the second inning, and we welcome you back to Weston Dorf Field. 7, 8, and 9 in the batting order for Bethel. Sonia Yoder, Faith Douglas, Shelby White hitting here in the second. Yoder swings and misses to make it 1-1. Haley shot back in the circle. 2 runs on 2 hits in the first. 1 error defensively by the Cougars. Bethel in their black uniforms on the road today. St. Francis wearing the home whites. 2 balls and 1 strike. Off-speed pitch into the zone for strike 2. Yoder at the dish, .227 batting average this year. 7 walks, 8 strikeouts, .370 on base percentage. 3-2, and a strikeout for Schott out number 1 of the second. Strikeout number 2 for Haley Schott in the circle. There is one away in the second inning. Now the 8th spot in the order, Faith Douglas. First pitch down low, ball 1. Douglas over at third base. That night's catch on a ball hit on the screws at her by Robakowski. 163 batting average this season for Douglas. 1 home run, 6 runs driven in. Is a threat to steal when she gets on. 4 for 4 this season. Down from Schott, 2 balls and 1 strike to Douglas. Right fielder Shelby White in the 9 spot hits next, and then back to the top of the order for the Pilots. 2-1. And that missed from Schott, 3 balls and 1 strike. Indiana Tech pitching staff has been good across the board this year. Hoping to see more of the same today, as this one is fouled off, and there goes our headset on the third base side. 3-2. Everything's good over there. As ball 4 is issued. A walk to Douglas, and it puts it to the 9 spot in the order with a right fielder, Shelby White, batting from the left side. Well, we haven't had that happen yet this year, where a foul ball took our mic off the screen. First pitch strike, 0-1 to Shelby White. 203 batting average with 3 runs driven in this season. Down low, 1-1. Left-handed hitting White trying to set the table for the top of the order as Bethel looking to threaten again. This is on the ground to short, go to second for 1. Not in time to first, but they get the fielder's choice. 6-4 for out number 2. Nice play by the shortstop. It's got to be quick to go to second in that scenario. Back to the top of the order with Fories. Check swing, she did go. 0-1 count. White aboard at first. Not really a major threat to steal bases, but at any point Bethel could try and get runners in motion, create a little chaos. We don't see many teams try to steal against Peyton Iliff. She's really good behind the plate, and Coach Bolin has talked a couple of different times this year about the fact that he puts a lot of pressure on his catchers to be nearly perfect. 1-2 count. Fories 1 for 1 today with a single and a run scored in the first. 1-2 from Schott. That one just missing. 2-2. She did not go on the check swing. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Schott gets the strikeout to end the top of the second. Bethel kept out of the scoring column in the second. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the order coming to bat for St. Francis when we return to Westendorf Field.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, Nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Bottom of the second, 4, 5, and 6 in the order due up for St. Francis. Thanks to Kennedy Bayoni, who has fixed our microphone out there for us. Haley Schott, Maddie Minnick, Macy Dowd come into bat. See, that's the things you do when you're not pitching on any given day. You may get thrown into the mix to help with the audio crew as Schott coming up to bat. Trying to help herself here at the plate, and her bat has been really good as of late for St. Francis. She takes up high ball 1. Schott now up to 4 home runs this season to go along with 17 RBIs, but it's been really the past week and a half or so where that long ball has really come into play for her offensively. Takes outside to make it 2-0. Schott, Minnick, Dowd, then Gurmez would follow. Queen put St. Francis down in order in the first. Schott taking here, and now she's ahead 3 balls and no strikes. The shade providing some nice relief for the players on the field today. Partly cloudy skies here in Fort Wayne. There is a called strike with Schott taking all the way to make it 3-1. Fly out to center, ground out to short, and a line out over to third. Those are the 3 outs for Queen. Schott fouls it away, now 3-2. Trying to get the leadoff runner aboard against Madeline Queen. Making her 5th start of the year, 15th appearance overall. Shot in the air towards right center field, long run. This one's going to land off the wall. And Haley Schott with a leadoff double for St. Francis. The first hit of the game for the Cougars. And hopefully that sparks things offensively for St. Francis here in the second. Nobody down. 5 spot in the order, Maddie Minnick coming up to bat. And again, the wind is going to help just a little bit today. Push balls out in the outfield towards center and especially into right field. Blue Bomb going back and tough time tracking that ball with the wind pushing it. Minnick lays a bunt down the first base line. Going to be a tough play for Rainey. Could not make it. Minnick able to beat it out, and it puts runners at the corners with nobody down. Infield bunt single for Maddie Minnick. And it's first and third, nobody out for Macy Dowd. Good RBI chance early for St. Francis here in the second inning. And Bethel wants to talk things over. They're going to go talk with our infield umpire. Thinking maybe they had Minnick at first base. And our infield umpire is explaining and confirming that Minnick will be safe at first. So runners on the corners for St. Francis and nobody out after this brief talk. Macy Dowd at the plate. Dowd second in the team in home runs with 5 this year. Her bat has been red hot as of late as well. Queen, first pitch, called strike. Minnick able to steal second base, no throw. And now you got 2 runners in scoring position for St. Francis. Oh, 1 from Queen. That one loops outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of inning number 2, 2-0 Bethel. St. Francis did not pick up a hit in the first inning, but 2 hits to start the second. Queen with a 1-1. Too far outside to Dowd. 2 balls and 1 strike. Joanna Gomez waiting next. Dowd in the air to left, pretty well struck. And this ball does leave the yard as well. 3-run home run for Macy Dowd. And St. Francis grabs the lead on this 3-run blast. 6th home run of the season for Dowd as it stayed fair down the left field line and results in a lead for the Cougars. Flash back to it here on the replay. Took it down the left field line, and there's Coach Gower pointing just fair. And the home run for Dowd to make it 3-2. Joanna Gomez trying to restart this inning essentially for St. Francis. Becomes a de facto leadoff hitter in this scenario to begin hopefully the next trip through offensively. 1-0 count on Gomez. 364 batting average at the plate for Gomez now. Up to a 417 on base percentage. 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Just kind of solidified her place in the order in right field in game 1 of doubleheaders. 3-0 to Gomez now. Find a way to get on base. Find a way to score runs. It's been a routine recipe for success for St. Francis all year long. The Bats have come to play consistently. They've gotten good pitching. Just got to make sure you're locked in and ready to go each and every game. Ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk to Gomez. And the first 4 batters of the inning have reached for St. Francis. Brings up the 8th spot in the order, Courtney Serber, with nobody down and a runner aboard at first. Shortstop Serber, 349 batting average for the shortstop. Taken all the way there, sees strike 1 after Queen couldn't find the zone against Gomez. Check the wristbands. Queen readies. On the 0-1 offering, Serber laying down a bunt. It is foul. 0-2. Live in Westendorf Field. 2 more games today for St. Francis here against Bethel. These are the only conference games of the day in the Crossroads League. Cougars will be on the road at Mount Vernon tomorrow for 2. Bethel will be at Spring Arbor tomorrow for 2 games. This one looped out into left field, going to fall for a hit. Serber with the base hit. First and second, still nobody out. And St. Francis continuing to find space in the outfield. Perfectly placed there by Serber in between 3 defenders. First and second, nobody down for Lena Vigiano. Vigiano in the 9 spot. We'll see her hit anywhere from 7th through 9th in the order, but she's got some pop at the bottom of the order. Was looking to bunt here. It's a strike 0-1. Vigiano, 292 batting average, 407 on base percentage. 2 home runs and 16 runs driven in. Giano thought about bunting, pulled it back. 1-1. Top of the order with Sam Baker due up next. 1-1 from Queen. And gets a called strike here. Not the pitch that Vigiano was looking for. 1-2 count. Gomez at second, Serber at first. Nobody down, bottom of the second. St. Francis taking the lead in this inning as Queen misses up in the zone. Now 2-2. Conference season starting to wind towards a close. 10 conference games remaining after today for all teams in the Crossroads League. All the makeups will be done after this one concludes, just in time for more weather this week. On the ground is short. They'll flip to second for one. 4-E's to Rainier. One down. Runners are on the corners with one away. And it's Sam Baker coming up to bat. Fielder's choice for Vigiano to reach. Gomez over to third. Sam Baker flew out to center field her first time up. Baker thought about bunting. It's a strike 0-1 as Vigiano moves up to second. So second and third and one down, and now base hit should score 2 runs. A 1. Baker lays down the bunt in front of home plate. Gomez back to third, caught in the pickle, now going home, and she will be tagged out. Baker goes to second. Runners second and third, but now 2 away. Vigiano up to third, Baker at second as Gomez is tagged out. They try to be aggressive there off the bunt to score a run. Instead, go down as a fielder's choice. First pitch down low to Iliff. Grounded it out to short her first time at the dish. St. Francis has regained the lead, taken the lead for the first time today here in the second, a 3-2 advantage. All 3 runs in this second frame. Off speed, misses in, 2-0. Robakowski on deck. She would be the 9th batter of the inning for the Cougars. To Iliff. And takes ball 3. First base unoccupied, but you don't want to walk Iliff here and face Robakowski with the bases loaded. 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 3-1. Baker at second, Vigiano over at third. 4 total hits in the inning for St. Francis. Queen. 3-1. Iliff takes on the corner for a strike, now 3-2. Runners will not be on the move on this 3-2 pitch. And it's outside to Iliff, ball 4, and something she's done well all year is draw walks. She now ties Sam Baker for a team-high 17th walk of the season by Iliff. Bases loaded, 2 down, and one of the best, if not the best, power hitter in the NAIA is coming up to bat. Abby Robakowski, 18 home runs this season. Trails just one other player in the NAIA, that's Annalise Rayburn at Oklahoma City for home runs this year. Rayburn at Oklahoma City has played a few more games, though, than Robakowski has. Big at-bat in the second for the Cougars. First pitch low Ball 1 to Robakowski. Robakowski, 18 homers. Rayburn with 20 homers. But Rayburn has still played 8 more games than Robakowski. 1-0. Robakowski, left side of the infield, finds its way through the hole and into left field. Baker coming for home and is out at home plate. It will be a hit and an RBI for St. Francis as the Cougars put up 4 runs in the second. And USF now leading Bethel 4-2 as we head to the top of the third. SummitCitySports.com.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Top of the third, 2, 3, and 4, the order for Bethel. As St. Francis takes the lead in the bottom of the second, now 4-2 in favor of the Cougars over the Pilots. SummitCitySports.com. Glad that you are with us here on the St. Francis Athletics YouTube channel. 2 games today, 2 games coming up on Saturday, at least scheduled for Saturday. We'll see, depending upon the weather, how things shake out. But Taylor's scheduled to come here Saturday. Supposed to play 2 tomorrow at Mount Vernon Nazarene, 2 on Friday at Indiana Wesleyan before those games on Saturday. Summit City Sports will be live this week at Parkview Field for 2 games on Tuesday night, 2 games on Wednesday night. Tin Caps hosting that Fort Wayne series that they do every other year, as infield single is recorded for Blue Bomb to begin the top of the third. Leadoff batter aboard for Bethel. Now Madison Shaw with a runner at first and nobody out. Shaw with an RBI ground out back in the first. This down in the dirt and will allow the runner to move up to second. Blue Bomb into scoring position. 1-0 on Shaw. Paxton Baker, then Rainier to hit. Inside corner gets the swinging strike, 1-1. Shaw, one of 3 players for Bethel, hitting above 300 on the year. Blue Bomb, another one. 1-2 count to Shaw. Bethel as a team, .255 batting average this season, .334 on base percentage. Have been effective on the base paths. 27 for 31 on stolen bases coming into today. But only scored 118 runs. When you don't get runners aboard, you don't have opportunities to show off your speed. This one back to shot. She'll throw towards second. And now runner reaching first on the fielder's choice. So Shaw is aboard, first and second, nobody out. And it's the left-handed hitting designated player Paxton Baker. This one skipped away. And now runners to second and third in a 1-0 count. Low and away, 2-0. Baker, RBI single in the first. And we may be getting close to a mound visit here for St. Francis, as this one fouled off, 2-1. Top of the third, nobody out. Runners at second and third for Bethel. Trying to respond to the 4 runs that St. Francis just put up in the bottom of the second. This is out to center field. Vigiano going back, throwing in. Run scores for Bethel to make it 4-3 on a sacrifice fly from Paxton Baker. 1 down. They want to check to see if the runner left early. She did not leave early. Run scores, 1 out. And now Peyton Rainier stands in, just trying to put a ball in play. Runners at the corners are in for St. Francis. First pitch missed inside, ball 1 to Rainier, who did strike out swinging back in the first. Shot with 2 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. Little check swing. And there is a swing, 1-1. Again, tough call for that infield umpire on the left side of the infield to make that with a righty at the plate. 1-1. And shot just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ellie Souter may be the first one in relief for St. Francis today if we get to that point. Fouled off 2-2. Pitcher Madeline Queen is the one on deck. 4-3, St. Francis leading Bethel, top of the third. 2-2. Called, strike 3, shot with her 3rd strikeout. Second time she's got Rainier. 2 away in the 3rd. And here is the pitcher Queen. RBI chance with a runner over at 3rd base, trying to help herself again. This time in the 3rd inning. She grounded back to shot last time around. Queen at the plate, .295 batting average. 18 runs driven in. Takes down 2-0. Catcher Yoder would hit next. The line continues. Shot able to find the zone to make it 2-1. St. Francis has hit that magic number, what's been the magic number for them over the course of the past 15 games. Getting to 4 runs, but Bethel has had a nice response, and we're seeing that the Pilots, even though their record stands at 2-22, doesn't mean you can just show up to the ballpark and get away with not playing your best game. Bethel's come ready to play today. First 2 matchups back on March 30th, 14-5 in 7 innings, and then 12-4 in 6 innings. That first game, it was a 9-run 7th inning for St. Francis to get that 14-5 win, and then they scored 8 runs in the 6th inning of game 2. Coach Jacobson going out to talk with Haley Schott. One shot just missing. 3 balls and 1 strike on the pitcher Queen. On the ground is short. Serber off 1 hop over to first, and Dowd is able to pick it off the dirt for out number 3. Bethel does get a run back as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. St. Francis leading the Pilots 4-3. SummitCitySports.com.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Four, 5, and 6 in the batting order once again for St. Francis. Bottom of the third inning. And the Cougars with a one-run advantage. Queen back in the circle to face Schott, Minnick, and Dowd. Dowd hitting the home run in the last inning. 3-run home run that made it a 3-2 lead at the time. Schott takes a called strike, 1-1. Haley Schott doubling off the wall in the last inning before scoring on that home run from Dowd. One. Schott on a line through the left side into left field. Leadoff single for Haley Schott. And already the 6th hit of the game for St. Francis offensively. And now Maddie Minnick with nobody out. Fresh count for Minnick, who laid down a bunt single last time. Looked like she was really just trying to sacrifice herself, get the runner over to third, but she was able to leg it out. And that'll bring the corner infielders in for Bethel in this situation. Runner going for second. Throw is offline into center field as Schott gets a stolen base. 1-0 count to Minnick. And now a chance where she could lay down a bunt again here and move Schott over to third. We just saw this scenario play out in the last inning. She does lay down the bunt, first base line, and it spins foul. 1-1 count. Schott over at second. 4-3, St. Francis leading Bethel. Bottom of the third. Again, these are the only games going on today in the Crossroads League. We'll have a full conference slate tomorrow. 1-1, Minnick swinging on the ground to second. This one boots out into center field. Run will score for St. Francis. A defensive error for Bethel. And it is 5-3. So Schott stole second. She scores on that. E4. And it's now 5-3. And another chance at the plate for Macy Dowd. Oh, and 1 count on Dowd. Too far outside, 1-1. Nobody down, bottom of the third inning. Minnick aboard at first, 5-3. St. Francis leading Bethel. Runner taken off for second. Minnick slides. She is in safely with another stolen base. Time called. 3 balls and no strikes to count on Macy Dowd. Stolen base for Maddie Minnick. Puts her into scoring position. 3-0 pitch is called a strike, 3-1 on Dowd. Too far outside, ball 4. Dowd heads down to first. Still nobody out. And St. Francis trying to get things moving again offensively, this time in the third against Queen. Joanna Gomez, she walked in the second. Gomez lays down a bunt, third base line, throw to first. Ooh, nice play by the second baseman, Rainier. Bunt and a sacrifice for Gomez. Moves runners to second and third. One down. Second and third. And it's the right-handed hitting shortstop, Courtney Serber. Minnick at third, Dowd at second. First pitch swinging for Serber. She loops this into the gap in left center field. Gonna get down for a hit. Scored 2 runs. 2 RBI double for Courtney Serber, and it is 7-3. St. Francis in front of Bethel. 4 runs in the second, 3 more runs here in the third. And trying to tack on a few more. Courtney Serber drives in RBIs 18 and 19 of the season for her. And the offense showing some life right now as Bethel is going to make a pitching change. Queen will come out and will meet the new pitcher for the Pilots when we come back from this break.
Is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
7-3, St. Francis with the lead on Bethel. Look at your run score currently. 3 runs on 3 hits for the Pilots, 1 error defensively. 7 runs on 7 hits for St. Francis with 1 error defensively as well. New pitcher for the visitors in Bethel. And coming in relief is Riley Northrup, the freshman, in to pitch for the Pilots. And Bethel turning their bullpen earlier than they probably would have liked to today, especially after how the first inning started. St. Francis going down in order. Made some good contact, but nonetheless went down in order. And now pitching change here in the third inning as St. Francis has put up 7 total runs against the Pilots. 2 1/3 will be the line for Queen, at least to start. Lena Vigiano at the plate. Northrup is just making her 9th appearance of the season. 12.25 ERA over 12 innings. 10 walks to 2 strikeouts. So she's had some issues with command at times, which is going to be certainly a big issue. Vigiano taking count now 2-1. Serber aboard at second. 2-1 pitch on the ground. Right side into right field. Runners will stay put on this throw that comes in. Single for Vigiano. Serber up to third. Runners on the corners. Still 1 out. And now top of the batting order with Sam Baker. Baker is the 7th batter of the inning for the Cougars. Once again, we saw her lay down a bunt last time, and St. Francis got caught up in between third and home in a pickle. Resulted in an out. She went to bunt here, pulls it back. Vigiano will take second. 1-0 count. Vigiano now at second, Serber at third. 3 runs in the third, and looking for more for St. Francis. Northrup, the right-hander. Baker, one hop to second, 8 are up, and Baker is going to reach base. Run scores on the E2, or on the E4. Error at second. And now Peyton Iliff coming to bat in an 8-3 ball game. First and third, 1 down. Iliff walked her last time up, grounded out to short back in the first inning, and I would expect that Sam Baker's going to be on the move on this first pitch. There's a strike. Baker will politely stroll into second base. They're just going to give it to you. You might as well take it. Second and third, 1 down. Iliff, good RBI chance here in the third inning for St. Francis. Outside, 1-1. Game 1 of 2 today between Bethel and the Cougars. Pilots 2 runs in the first inning. They led 2-0 going into the bottom of the second. St. Francis has scored 8 of the last 9 runs. Iliff in the air, right center field. This one got some carry to it. It is gone. 3-run home run for Peyton Iliff on the 9th hit of the game for St. Francis. Iliff, 5th home run of the season, and the Cougars offense is locked and loaded once again today. Three-run home run for Iliff. Happy dugout now for the Cougars, and it brings Abby Robakowski up to the plate. Robakowski once again representing the 9th batter of the inning for St. Francis. And the Cougars have a chance to see at least 10 batters in this third. They will bat around in the third inning. Robakowski picked up an RBI to end the second. Tried to turn it into 2 RBIs, and the runner was cut down at home. 1-0 count between Northrup and Robakowski. 11-3, Cougars leading, bottom of the third. 1-0 to Robakowski is a called strike, 1-1. Single season home run leader now for St. Francis. She's got more than 35 collegiate home runs. Downstairs, 2-1. And 2 away from Annalise Rayburn at Oklahoma City for that number 1 spot in the NAIA in home runs this season. Northrup 2-1. And tiptoeing out of the way is Robakowski. 3-1 count. Haley's shot. Get a chance to hit again. (3-1). Robakowski right back up the middle into center field. And a 1-out single for Robakowski puts her aboard, and still just 1 out. Cross out that 4th inning in your scorebook if you're keeping track with us at home, and write a 3 up there because we're moving on to the 10th batter of the inning. Haley Schott already singled and scored here in the third. Robakowski, the runner at first. First pitch missing to Schott, 1-0. St. Francis scored their season high in runs against Bethel earlier this year, 14 runs in that second game of the doubleheader. Back up the middle again into center field. Robakowski station to station. His shot is now 2 for 2 in the inning, 3 for 3 on the day. Her second single of the third. Robakowski moves to second. Now Maddie Minnick, who has reached base twice and scored 2 runs. She's also got 2 stolen bases today. Time called for Bethel. We've got a mound visit upcoming. We'll take the brief pause with them. SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
(11-3), St. Francis leads Bethel. Bottom half of the third inning. Runners aboard at first and second for the Cougars. Just 1 down. Mound meeting will come to a close here for Northrop and Bethel. And the Pilots not going to make a pitching change at this point, but certainly you can feel the frustration if you're Bethel on the other side. You start this game up 2-0, can't add anything on in the top of the second, then St. Francis responds with 4 runs, but then you come back in the top of this inning, score again. It's 4-3, 1-run game. You feel like you're in it, and then the Cougars' offense has showed up in a big way. A couple of defensive errors as well, but it's been the offensive prowess on display for St. Francis. This one trails outside, ball 1. Maddie Minnick with runners at first and second. And there's a called strike to make it 1-1 on Minnick. Bottom of inning number 3, 1 down. And Minnick swings and misses. Runners will move up, though, to second and third on that dropped ball. So into scoring position is shot. Robakowski moves 60 feet closer. There's the 1-2. Out off the plate to Minnick. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First baseman Macy Dowd due up next. Two. In on the hands. This is popped up towards shallow right field. Catch made by White. She'll come up throwing. And everybody stays put for St. Francis. 2 down in the bottom of the third. Fly out to right field. Brings up Macy Dowd. So Macy Dowd with 2 away. First pitch swinging, Dowd rifles one out into the outfield. It lands over the head of the center fielder, Blue Bomb. Dowd, 2 RBIs and a double. And St. Francis now leads it 13-3 off a nice piece of hitting from Macy Dowd. And she's picked up 5 RBIs here in this first game. 9-run third inning, and Maddie Brady will now come up and replace Joanna Gomez in the order. Brady is now the 13th plate appearance of the inning for St. Francis. First pitch, a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Cougars with 9 runs in this third frame. Brady, the freshman from Columbia City, getting a chance to bat. Understand and apologize if there's some buffering on the YouTube end. Our internet's not been so great today. Brady dumps this one out into left field for a 2-out single. Runners on the corners, 2 down. Already a 13-3 game. And Courtney Serber get another chance at the dish. Serber a single, a double. Drove in 2 runs in her last plate appearance. First pitch to Serber, misses. Runner taken off for second. Brady is out, trying to steal second base. We head to the top of the 4th, 13-3, St. Francis leading Bethel. SummitCitySports.com.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
(13-3), St. Francis leading Bethel, top of the 4th inning. SummitCitySports.com live here with St. Francis softball at Westendorf Field. We're trying to take care of some of the internet issues before we get ready for our second game today. Apologize for some of the buffering on the YouTube end. It's just not great internet conditions here on this side of campus. Yoder, Douglas, and White, 7, 8, and 9 in the order for Bethel. First pitch swinging. This is on the ground to short. Serber to first. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 4th inning. There is a new pitcher in the game for St. Francis. Ellie Souter makes her 18th appearance of the year. Just her second in relief. 16 total starts, 3.10 ERA over now 68 innings pitched. 51 strikeouts compared to 19 walks on the year. It's up in the zone to Douglas. Ball 1. Douglas walked in her first and only at-bat today. Souter just missing with this 1-0. Two balls and no strikes. Souter. This is popped up. Robakowski, the third baseman, comes over to catch it. 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning for St. Francis defensively. And now Shelby White up to bat with 2 down and nobody aboard. Top of the 4th inning. 9th spot in the order for Bethel. First pitch strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Souter missing low to White. 1 ball and 1 strike. St. Francis 15 consecutive wins, while Bethel has lost 18 in a row coming into today. The Cougars can win both games today. They put themselves into first place in the Crossroads League standings. On the ground to short, Serber down to it, throws to first, and Ellie Souter with a 1-2-3 defensive top half of the 4th inning for the Cougars. St. Francis 13-3 as they come back to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. SummitCitySports.com.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
New pitcher for Bethel in this 13-3 ball game in the bottom of the 4th. As the new pitcher is Alyssa Fritz, freshman right-hander, making her 14th appearance of the season. 19.1 innings pitched, 1-1 record, 14 walks, 11 strikeouts, but an earned run average of 14.84 on the year. And now we'll face 8-9-1 in the St. Francis order. Serber, Vigiano, and then back to the top with Baker. First pitch, a ball up high, 1-0. Serber single and a double, run scored, 2 RBIs today. One-0 is a called strike to Serber, 1-1. St. Francis looking to tack on a few more runs here in the 4th and then close things out in the top of the 5th inning potentially. Up by 10 at the moment. 8 runs after 5, 8 runs after 6. Cougars did score a season-high 14 runs against Bethel. Game 2 of the doubleheader. They've now scored 12, 13, and 14 against the Pilots this year. Serber into left center field, and the hit parade just continues for St. Francis. Serber into second with a leadoff double. And nobody out. 9-spot Vigiano coming to bat for the 3rd time today. So, pinch hitter instead. Becca Patterson in place of Vigiano. The freshman will come to bat. Out of Bern, Indiana, South Adams High School. Puts this on the ground, the right side of the infield. And a defensive error against Bethel will put runners at 1st and 3rd with nobody out. And back to the top of the order. Emma Howdeshell will bat in place of Sam Baker. So Patterson aboard. Howdeshell up to bat. Her first plate appearance of the day. First pitch swinging. This one took a hop over the head of the 3rd baseman. That'll be a hit as opposed to an error. Throw back to second. Patterson is in safely. Another run scores for St. Francis to make it 14-3. And Howdeshell with the RBI single. And now it's Peyton Iliff. 1st and 2nd. Nobody out in the 4th. Just seeing consistently St. Francis take control at the plate. Wind blowing towards center field currently. Count moves to 2-0 on Iliff. Throw over to 3rd as Howdeshell goes to second. They get the out on the stolen base attempt by Patterson. One away. Howdeshell up to second. And now time called behind home plate. Iliff wanted an extra second before this pitch. And it is a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike on Iliff. Howdeshell at second, and Iliff draws the walk. First and second, just 1 down. As Robakowski hitting for the 4th time today. 2 singles already for Robakowski. Singled and scored in the last inning. Takes a first pitch strike to begin this at bat. 0-1. 14-3, St. Francis leading Bethel. Bottom of the 4th. Ties their season high for the Cougars in runs scored. Iliff at first, Howdeshell at second. Robakowski at the plate. And fouls this one back. 1-2. One down in the 4th. Robakowski lifts it towards right center field. Blue bomb on the run will make the catch. 2 away. And now Haley Schott, the designated player, batting with 2 on and 2 down. Seems like our internet has come back to life a little bit here, so we'll take that as a positive. Hopefully the buffering issues are done on the YouTube end. We finally stopped getting that error message. Schott 3 for 3 on the day. First pitch swinging here, popped up right side of the infield. Rainier, the second baseman, will make the catch. And in a 14-3 ball game, we head to the top of the 5th inning. St. Francis looking for 3 outs to get a win in Game 1. Ellie Souter back to the circle when we return to Westendorf Field.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Top of the 5th inning, we are back as we welcome you back. Emma Howdeshell going to stay in for Sam Baker and play shortstop as Serber moves from short to second. Otherwise, defensively looks the same in the outfield. Bethel trailing 14-3. And St. Francis Cougars right now are 3 outs away from getting a win in 4.5 innings today. Haley Schott, 3 innings pitched. Souter here in relief, looking for her 2nd inning of scoreless work. Top of the batting order for Bethel, Fories, Bloombaum, and Shaw. Fories batting from the left side to lead off the 5th. St. Francis with an 11-run advantage, which means that for Bethel, they have to score at least 4 runs here in this 5th inning. 0-1, just off the edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. This is up and out of play on the third base line. 1-2. Talk with Coach Bolin after this first game concludes. Gear up for game 2. We're looking at right about a 5 o'clock start for the second game as of now. Things do indeed end early. Grounder to short, How to Shell just off the bench. Over to first. 1 down. Morgan Bluebaum with 1 away. Bethel down to their final 2 outs in game 1. First pitch is off speed on the ground again to short. How to Shell to first in time. Had to be quick there with the speedy Bluebaum at the plate. There's 2 quick outs back to the shortstop, How to Shell. 2 down, top of the 5th inning. Haley Schott is in line to get the win here in the first game with her 3 innings of work. Souter unable to get a save because of where this game was at when she entered in the 4th inning. But she gets some work in relief today. Get her arm ready for tomorrow against Mount Vernon Nazarene. This is popped back and out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Shaw at the dish, down to the final strike for Bethel. Souter looking for her first strikeout in relief. Little roller towards first instead. Dowd will take it to the bag, step on the bag, and a game 1 final, 14-3. St. Francis with the win. They trailed 2-0 going into the bottom of the second. They scored 4 runs in the bottom of the second, a 9 spot in the third, 1 more in the fourth. And the Cougars have won their 16th consecutive game. Now 26-7 overall on the year, 22-3 in the conference. We'll catch up with Coach Bolin when we return. SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Developed for athletes of all sports, PSM's Edge training program is a personalized, high-intensity experience designed to help you outperform the competition. Whether you're looking to enhance your speed, strength, power, agility, or overall fitness, our expert training staff will build a program that adapts to your schedule while maximizing your overall performance. Now accepting athletes 12 years old and up. Get started today. Schedule your free evaluation at psmsports.com/edge.
14-3 is the final score of Game 1 between St. Francis and Bethel. 16 consecutive wins now for the Cougars as Coach Bolin joins us postgame. 2-0 off the jump for Bethel in this one. Took a minute for the girls to settle down here today, but once they did, the bats showed up in a big way, and another win. This group just continues to progress day after day, it seems like.
Yeah, I think we spotted them 2 runs, if you want to be honest about it. I felt like we just kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit with that, and then got behind and then responded in the bottom of the second with 4 runs. 2-run homer maybe by Dowd in that spot. It's tough because we've been seeing extremely good pitching, right, all week long. Today's a little bit different. Not that they're not good at pitching. They're just different in velocity, right? And so it takes a lot more discipline as a hitter today to be able to understand how to hit this. You've seen a few more higher leg kicks today and a lot more of trying to stay in our legs as much as we can, draw some walks, and then just swing it. And so we had some big days by some big people, right? I think I don't know. How many home runs did we hit?
Well, we had the 3-run homer from Dowd.
Okay.
Iliff with a 3-run home run as well. I think those were the only
so just the two this
in the game.
right?
but both 3-run shots, too.
Yeah,
and it's coming up in big moments.
Big, yep. And Haley did great. Haley was great in the circle to start out with. I think she lost some command there in might have been the top of the third. I think she lost a little bit of command. And then Ellie came in and threw 2 zeros, just trying to get her work, right? We know we got games tomorrow. And, you got to get your 1s and your 2s in there to be able to compete. And they did a great job. If we just keep swinging the bats, keep putting runs on the board, and let the pitching just do what they need to do.
How hard of adjustment is it to go from all the velocity you've seen the past week? And we talked about some upper echelon pitching with Spring Arbor on Tuesday, all the way through the week, to now see just a little bit slower, some more off-speed stuff, and trying to wait back.
Well, I mean, you're going from, the Underwood kid at Spring Arbor's in the 60-plus, right, and then with a really devastating changeup, and now you're going to 55 or less, and then the changeup's at 35, right? And so the good things, our kids on Sunday, they trained it yesterday. We didn't have a scheduled practice, but they still went and hit off the machine. They cranked it down to 55, and they felt like, hey, we got to put a little extra work in today, knowing that they can keep it close because of the pitching and because maybe we're a little bit more anxious. That's how they keep the game close. And then I thought we did a really good job of putting up a lot of runs in a short amount of time to kind of maybe breathe a little bit, I guess is a good word for that. But, yeah.
Gearing up for Game 2, what do you want to see from your group in the second game?
Consistency, right? At the plate, continue to do that. We try to get kids in when we get into games like this. We did a little bit with that today. But I think you got to keep your starters hot, and I think that tomorrow is just as big. This game right here is really big. The next game tomorrow, the next two are really big, which sets up a really fun Friday maybe. Yeah. So, it's consistency. Good pitching here. Keep the ball in the zone. Don't walk anybody. And then play solid defense, and then just go swing it.
Only 11 regular season conference games left now, so all of them are pretty big the rest of the way. All right, Coach. Appreciate your time.
You,
we'll
appreciate
see you after Game 2. It was 14-3 is your final score in Game 1. St. Francis gets the win. Again, 16 victories in a row now for the Cougars. 26-7 overall, 22-3 in the conference standings. Bethel falls to the inverse of that at 2-23. On the season, so it's been a little bit of a struggle this year for the Pilots, who are now 6-31 on the year. They're going to put some water on the field. We'll get ready for Game 2. Should be just before 5 o'clock for our second game of the doubleheader. Thanks for joining us here. We'll mute our audio. You'll see the umpire meeting behind home plate, and then we'll come live back again with our audio for Game 2. 14-3, the final in Game 1. St. Francis victorious over Bethel. It'll be the 10th and final consecutive home game for St. Francis coming up in our second game of the doubleheader. Coach Bolin talked about it. They'll be at Mount Vernon tomorrow for 2 games, and then potentially for first place on Friday at Indiana Wesleyan if you're able to take care of business. A chance for St. Francis to go into first place alone with a win in Game 2 against Bethel. We'll talk to you shortly, just before 5 p.m. for our second game.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Gearing up for game number 2 of the doubleheader between Bethel and St. Francis, hoping to get these games in before some potential weather moves into the area. Let's meet the batting order for Bethel. Alyssa Voorhees in the leadoff spot at shortstop. Morgan Bluebaum in center field batting second. Madison Shaw hits third and plays left. Paxton Baker in the 4 spot at second base. Carly Friedrich, the catcher, batting fifth. Grace Walker, your DP in game 2 in the 6th spot. Faith Douglas at third base, batting 7th. Kyra Rainey in the 8th spot and playing first base once again. And Shelby White in right field in the 9th spot. Defensively for St. Francis, Minnick in left, Vigiano in center, and Pierce in right field. Robakowski at third, Howdeshell at short. Baker at second, Shot at first. Iliff is behind the plate once again. Catching the righty, Alexa Huth. 3-1 record for Huth this season. She makes her 7th start, 12th appearance overall. 2.72 ERA, 36 innings pitched, 13 walks to 22 strikeouts on the year. For the senior from here in Fort Wayne, Northrop High School graduate. And she'll toe the rubber against Bethel to start things in the top of the first inning of game 2. We are below 80 degrees now, but still at 79. Doesn't feel like it in the press box, but that's because there's no AC in here. We begin game number 2. 5:06 is your start time as Alexa Huth delivers first pitch outside, ball 1. Started game 1 at 3:03. We start game 2 here at 5:06. 14-3, the final score in game 1 in 5 innings in favor of St. Francis. Check that swing. And she did go. Count 1-1. Or did he call that ball too? He says he was safe down the line. Voorhees at the plate. There's a strike. Two runs in the first inning of game 1 for Bethel. This is up and out of play. Huth making the start. Looks on, delivers the 2-2. And again, goes off the netting. Good battle to start. Bluebaum, Shaw, Baker, top 4 in the order for Bethel again in game 2. 2-2. Too far outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Voorhees. And again, fouled another one off. Continues to battle with Huth in this opening at bat. Voorhees, 280 batting average, 369 on base percentage coming into today with 14 walks to lead the team. 3-2 from Huth. And again, fouled off as Huth continues to go to the inside part of the plate. Good opening at bat for Bethel, making Huth throw a couple extra pitches. You get to see some more of her stuff early on. And again, fouled away, left field line. So Voorhees has been unable to put a ball in play, but she's made plenty of contact here to open up game 2 for the Pilots. Huth looks in. Another pitch. On a line to third. Robakowski makes the catch. And a long opening at bat results in and out. 1 down in the top half of the first inning. Haley Allen gets the start on the other side for Bethel. We'll go through her numbers when Bethel goes out defensively. Center fielder Bluebaum. Back-to-back lefties at the top of the order for Bethel. Blue Bomb can really use her speed to get on base. Just got her by about a half a step in her last at-bat of game 1. Too far inside from Huth, 2-0. St. Francis trying to go 10-0 on this homestand. They've won their first 9 games, 16 wins in a row. This goes off the side foul, 2-1. At Mount Vernon tomorrow, at Indiana Wesleyan on Friday, and then scheduled to be back here at home against Taylor on Saturday. 8-0 last week, sweeping Spring Arbor, Marion, and then ended the week with 2 wins over Goshen and Grace. 3-1 count between Huth and Blue Bomb. Cloudier skies now here at Westendorf Field with this second game underway. 3-1. And a little bit behind it was Blue Bomb. It swung through for strike 2. Count now full. Leadoff batter lined out to Robakowski over at third. Another full count. Huth with a 3-2. And again, it's been a busy inning towards this left side of the infield. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Postseason tournament in the Crossroads League will be here in Fort Wayne. Begins April 28th. Runs through May 1st. 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Huth gets the strikeout. 2 down in the first. It brings Madison Shaw to the plate with nobody aboard. 2 away. Shaw, the left fielder. 2 home runs, 18 RBIs on the season to lead this Bethel roster. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. That just misses as well from Huth, 2-0. Two nothing to start the first inning of the first game. It was 2-0 going to the bottom of the second. St. Francis scored 4. Bethel got a run back, made it 4-3, and then a 9 spot for the Cougars. Got them to separate in the third inning. They go on to win 14-3, and Coach Bolin talking about that change in velocity between the pitching staffs that we saw earlier last week all the way to today. This is foul back to make it 2-2, and now part of that trouble is now you got to gear back up again for some velocity when it comes to the end of this week. Huth, 2-2. On the ground, through the hole into right field. Coming up, throwing for first was Pierce. It will be a single for Bethel. And now the second baseman, Paxton Baker, to the dish with 2 down and a runner aboard at first. Shaw over at first base, 2 for 3 stolen bases this year. Huth missing, up 1-0. Baker 235 at the plate this season. 4 runs driven in, coming 2 today. Too far outside, 2-0 count. Let's see if Iliff may throw a ball towards first if Shaw's lead gets any bigger. Right back towards Huth, goes off her glove, and there is no play on the infield. Be a hit for Bethel. One right back up the middle, just went off the glove of Huth as she was trying to react instantly. First and second, 2 down. And Carly Friedrich the catcher, batting with 2 aboard and 2 away. Friedrich, 287 batting average this season. She's driven in 11 runs at the plate with 1 home run. Takes a first pitch strike from Huth, 0-1. Scoreless top of the first inning. Bethel trying to start like they did in game 1. Throw back to second here, and able to get back in safely was Shaw. 1-1 count. Bethel's 2 wins in conference play this year, coming against teams that are either at 500 or above 500 in the conference standings. Spring Arbor 13-13, Taylor 14-12. Those are the 2 conference wins this year for Bethel. St. Francis now 22-3. Got a half-game lead over Indiana Wesley and a chance to take a full game lead with a win in this game. St. Francis 22-3, IWU 22-4, and then Marion at 16-10. It's become a 2-horse race at the end of the season. 10 conference games remaining after today. 1-2 count on Friedrich. A little dribbler foul down the first base side. Count remains at 1-2. Pilots wearing their black uniforms today with the blue letters. St. Francis in all white. Wind not a major factor, at least early on in this second game. Another 1-2 pitch from Huth. Chopper towards first, shot, knocked it down with her glove, trying to find it, can't get there. Runner coming to the plate, throw to the plate, and not in time. Run scores for Bethel. And it is 1-0 Pilots. Shot knocked that ball down at first, but couldn't corral it, and Friedrich able to reach the RBI to make it 1-0. And Coach Bolin talked about spotting some runs to Bethel in the first game, and you could argue that they just spotted one here in the first of game 2. Designated player Grace Walker at the dish. First pitch strike, 0-1. Walker, 121 batting average on the year. Does have 1 RBI this season. 5 walks, 8 strikeouts at the plate. On the ground to first, shot, knocked it down again, can't find it. Dives towards the bag, not in time. Runner coming home again, and scoring for Bethel to make it 2-0. Everything staying in the infield for the Pilots, but aggressive base running producing 2 runs here in the first. RBI for Walker. Baker scoring from second, 2-0. And now Faith Douglas, the third baseman, at the plate. A long top half of the first inning on balls that have really, I mean, the only thing that left the infield was that single into right field for Shaw with 2 outs. Off speed, called strike, 0-2. 2-zip, Bethel, top of the first, 2 runners aboard for the Pilots. Huth with her second strikeout of the inning. But just like we started game number 1, Bethel on top, 2-0, as St. Francis comes to bat for the first time when we return to Westendorf Field. SummitCitySports.com.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Well, Well, it's not really a game for St. Francis until they're trailing at some point. It usually seems to get them to wake up a little bit. Bottom of the first inning, it is 2-0 Bethel as we meet today's starting lineup for St. Francis. Sam Baker in the leadoff spot, followed by Peyton Iliff and Abby Robakowski. Haley Schott hitting fourth, Maddie Minnick fifth, Macy Dowd sixth, Lily Pierce seventh, Vigiano eighth, and then Emma Howdeshell in the 9 spot. Defensively, Shaw in left, Bluebaum in center, and White in right field. Douglas at third, Voorhees at short, Baker at second, Rainey at first. Friedrich is catching the right-hander Allen. Haley Allen, 2-9 record this year, 20th appearance of the season. She's making her 13th start, a 6.5 ERA over 68 innings pitched. It's had some command issues, 47 walks to 26 strikeouts on the year for Allen. Baker to lead things off. Being able to come and bring it every single game. Game 1, Game 2 of a doubleheader, you've got to have your bats. We'll see how they fare against Allen. Bottom of the first, left-handed hitting Sam Baker digs in. Baker turned to bunt, pulled it back, takes a called strike, 0-1. "79 degrees in Fort Wayne, windy day. Hoping that the weather is going to stay away for the most part this week after we finally got some nice weather to get in games last week. 1 ball and 1 strike on Baker, and we're running out of real estate at the end of the season if we do have more games postponed. 1-1 from Allen is up high. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Sam Baker. There does appear to be some weather moving our way currently. 2-1, called strike. Count evens up at 2-2. Allen 2-2 to Baker. It's too far outside. Count now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Baker leading things off. Bottom of the first. Over to second. Going to be a tough play at first. Baker beats it out. Infield single for Sam Baker. And St. Francis with its leadoff runner aboard in the bottom of the first inning. Catcher Peyton Iliff, 3-run home run in the first game. First pitch up in the zone, ball 1 to Iliff. She's had a really good eye at the plate this season as well. And it's been an extra bonus for St. Francis to have her at the plate and all she's done this year, as Baker taken off for second, is in with a stolen base. 2-0 count on Iliff. Looks like some rain may be moving in here in the next 20 minutes. Hopefully just a brief storm, and if there's no lightning and it's just rain, we'll keep playing. Bunt laid down first base side by Iliff. Throw to first is offline into right field. It'll be an error on the throw, and Iliff into second. And the E1. Baker scores, and it brings up Abby Robakowski. Two to one. Errant throw by the pitcher Allen allows Iliff to go all the way to second. Robakowski at the plate. First pitch called strike on the corner, 0-1. Robakowski, 18 home runs on the season coming into today for 33 games played now. 7 less games than Rayburn, who leads the country with 20 long balls. Oklahoma City's been off this past weekend. And we'll see a new top 25 poll coming out on Wednesday. See where St. Francis lands. You would have to expect it somewhere inside the top 25 as Robakowski loops one out, shallow center field. It drops in for a hit. Iliff turns and heads to third. And a high pop-up somehow found a home. Single for Robakowski. Runners on the corners, nobody out. And a quick visit for Bethel with the infield and the pitcher Allen before the 4-hole hitter Haley Schott steps in. First and third, nobody out. 2-1, bottom of inning number 1 in our first mound visit for the Pilots. Meeting adjourned. First baseman Haley Schott. Schott 4 home runs of her own this year. Runners at the corners. First pitch low and inside. Robakowski taken off for second. Iliff back to third, and she's in safely. Well executed there from St. Francis. Robakowski takes second. Second baseman Baker for Bethel cut off the ball, threw over to third, but Iliff just got a little bit of a secondary lead, and she's able to get back in safely at third. 1-0 to Schott. In the air to left, foul territory. Catch is made. Iliff tagging from third and scoring to make it 2-2. Sacrifice fly for Haley Schott. 1 down. Robakowski stays put at second. And it brings up Maddie Minnick. 1 down for the left fielder, Minnick. Designated player Macy Dowd due up next. Outside corner, first pitch strike to Minnick, 0-1. On the way. Stays above the letters, 1-1 to Maddie Minnick. 2-2, St. Francis and Bethel tied in the bottom of the first inning. Second game of the doubleheader. First game ended in 5. Minnick's 1-1, popped, foul territory. It is out of play, 1-2. One-two delivery. Missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Maddie Minnick. 3 home runs of her own this year. Again, what's been a 9-0 homestand for St. Francis. Trying to go perfect 10-0 before heading to Mount Vernon on Tuesday. On the ground, deep in the hole and short. Throw to first is not in time. Robakowski moves up to third. And it's an infield hit for Maddie Minnick. Put the ball in play, good things can happen, and saw it fully on display there for St. Francis. First and third, 1 down, 2-2 ball game, and designated player Macy Dowd, who launched a 3-run home run in the first game. Now up to 6 home runs on the year, second on the roster for St. Francis. Runner takes off for second. Throw bounces into the outfield. Minnick steals second. She'll move up to third. And on the throwing error, Robakowski scores from third. Minnick moves up to third with that throw. And it is a 1-0 count on Macy Dowd. So St. Francis takes the lead 3-2, 1 down in the inning. And this is downstairs now 2-0. In the rain about 10 to 15 minutes out currently. Rain, not the end of the world. On the ground to second. They'll go to first to get the out, but the run does score for St. Francis. 2 out in the inning. On the RBI ground out 4-3. Minnick scoring from third, and it's the right fielder Lily Pierce who digs in with nobody on. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. And Pierce swinging at the first pitch, dumps one into center. Single for Lily Pierce, 4th hit of the inning for St. Francis. And now the 8th batter of the inning, Lena Vigiano, stands in. St. Francis sent 9 batters to the plate in the 2nd inning of Game 1, and then they sent 15 batters to the plate in the 3rd inning. Vigiano pulls back, throw down to second. Pierce tagged, and she is out for the final out of the first. A 4 spot on the board for St. Francis, and they lead it 4-2 over Bethel as we head into the top of the 2nd inning. SummitCitySports.com
is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Top of the 2nd inning, 4-2, St. Francis with the lead. Jared Matheny for SummitCitySports.com. Glad to be with you. St. Francis Athletics on YouTube. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. Rainey, White, and then back to the top with Fories. Alexa Huth missing on that first pitch, and the 1-0 fouled back by Rainey, who gets the start at the plate in Game 2. She played defensively at first base in Game 1. She's the only real change in the order. Friedrich catching in this 2nd game, and Walker as your DP, and then moving Rainey into the lineup. 3 total changes for Bethel. 1-2, and a strikeout for Huth. 1 away in the 2nd. 3rd strikeout already for Alexa Huth in this game. 1 down. Shelby White. First pitch swinging on a line to third. Ropikowski with a web gem. 2 down. Scolded over to third base. Ropikowski looked and got her hand over her head, and she's able to make that catch for out number 2. Back to the top of the order with Alyssa Fories. First pitch misses from Huth, 1-0. Two down, top of the 2nd, 4-2 lead for St. Francis. This one is foul, 1-1. Had to bring in our crowd mic with the potential rain coming in. So if it sounds a little bit quieter than usual, that would be why. 1-1 fouled away, now 1-2 to Fories as St. Francis is trying to put Bethel down in order in the top of the second. Huth, 3 strikeouts already. One, two. Just away to Fories, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fories had that long opening at bat, eventually lined out to Robakowski. On the ground, right side of the infield, Baker to shot, and it is a 1-2-3 defensive top half of the second for St. Francis. Cougars coming to bat, 8th spot in the order. Lena Vigiano back up at the plate when we return to West Indoor Field.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Eight, 9, and 1 in the batting order for St. Francis. Lena Vigiano steps back in for the Cougars in the bottom of the second. And first pitch misses, ball 1. Vigiano, Howdashell, and then back to the top of the order with Sam Baker. We'll see if we do get rain still. This is on the ground towards second. Throw over to first, out number 1 on the putout, 4-3. Now Emma Howdashell, the shortstop, with nobody on. We'll see if the rain gets us. Right now it's tracking a little bit further to the north than here in Fort Wayne, so we may just miss it. 1-0 count on the shortstop, Howdashell, who gets the start in the second game. Little tapper out in front of home plate, hitter in the box. It is a foul ball, 1-1. 4 runs on 4 hits in the first for St. Francis. 2 errors defensively in that inning by Bethel. 1-1 count on Howdashell. Off speed pitch. Stayed a little bit too far inside, maybe a touch high. 2-1 between Allen and Howdashell. That's low. 3 balls and 1 strike to the shortstop. Leadoff spot with Sam Baker. Due up next. Allen, 3-1. Inside, ball 4 to Howdashell. And a runner on with 1 out in the second. Back to the top of the order, Sam Baker. Singled, stole a base, scored a run in the first. Third baseman Douglas is in, expecting a bunt. This is down in the dirt, ball 1. Howdashell gets back into first. Alden, those 4 runs given up, but in terms of earned runs, not going to see many from that first frame at least. 2-0 on Baker. Defense behind her making a couple of big mistakes. 2 balls and no strikes. Peyton Iliff, the catcher, to hit next. Baker takes at the knees for a strike, 2-1. We'll see if Howdeshell is potentially in motion here, or there's some sort of hit and run in play for St. Francis. Howdeshell is moving. Throw to second. Good throw, but Howdeshell is able to avoid the tag on a head-first slide in safely with stolen base. 3-1 count on Sam Baker. Howdeshell at second. 3-1. Allen looks in. Baker loads up, turns, bounces it towards first, and able to regain control as Rainey over at first base steps on the bag. Out number 2. That does move Howdeshell over to third. 2 down for Peyton Iliff. Iliff homering in game 1. Robakowski would hit next. Runner over at third, standing in scoring position. St. Francis has not scored yet in the second. 4-run first inning. Allen checks the wristband. 2-0. Iliff taking a called strike to make it 2-1. On base percentage above .430 on the year for Iliff. Off speed, and that changeup down in the dirt, 3-1. Robakowski next. Shot would follow if the line continues for St. Francis here in the second. 3-1. Iliff taking ball 4 off the outside corner. Puts runners at the corners with 2 down. And now, how do you handle Abby Robakowski? 3 hits today. All 3 have been singles. She's yet to really get into one, and that would make me even more worried if I were in the other dugout with Bethel. First pitch swinging for Robakowski. Missed it 0-1. She was gearing up for that one. Trying to make an impact on this game immediately. Iliff at first. Howdeshell at third. Could be a chance you send Iliff here and try to draw a throw to second. 1-1 count to Robakowski. In a game where you're just trying to figure out ways to produce runs, especially early on. Running into and out while scoring a run, not the end of the world. Off speed. Robakowski popped it up, foul territory. Third base side, Douglas has got it. And the Cougars leave a couple runners stranded in the second. To the top of the third we go. 4-2 in favor of St. Francis over Bethel.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
Alexa Huth back in the circle to start the top of the third. 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order for Bethel. It's a first pitch strike to Blue Bomb. Morgan Blue Bomb, Madison Shaw, Paxton Baker scheduled to hit here in the third. 79 degrees in Fort Wayne. This is fouled off to make it 0-2. Feels like 74, wind out of the northeast, 15 miles per hour currently. And it looks like the rain may avoid us. Oh, 2 count. Huth missing away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 3 strikeouts through the first 2 innings in the circle for Huth. One, 2, and that is foul down the third base line. Nobody out top of the third. St. Francis leading Bethel 4-2. They're in college softball in the NAIA. Cougars with a win would move into sole possession of first place by a game over Indiana Wesleyan. With 10 conference games remaining after today. 2 more tomorrow at Mount Vernon. 2 Friday at Indiana Wesleyan. 2 Saturday as well. Be at home against Taylor. Full count. Huth and Blue Bomb. 3-2 pitch. Little half swing foul down that third base side once again. Top 2 in the order have done a nice job of fouling off pitches, seeing extra pitches in the at-bat. Haven't been able to reach base either time, though. Three-two. This one into left field will land for a fair ball. Blue Bomb stays put at first. It's a leadoff single. Minnick gets the ball in quickly. Runner at first, nobody out, top of the third inning, and Bethel to the meat of their order, 3, 4, and 5. Madison Shaw digging in. First pitch strike from Huth. Cougars lead it by 2 in the top of the third. This would be their 8th straight doubleheader sweep if they can get it done, as this is popped out. Sam Baker on the run to make the catch. 1 away. 16 wins in a row currently. I know those games against Mount Vernon are huge tomorrow. Mount Vernon's been one of those teams all season long that's kind of been up and down, but they can truly go out and beat anybody. 12-14 in the conference slate this season for the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene. And after playing the bottom part of the conference here for St. Francis, Goshen, Grace, and now Bethel, they'll turn and face the upper echelon of the conference towards the end of this week. Indiana Wesleyan Friday, and then home here against Taylor on Saturday. 2 more home games the following Tuesday against Huntington. Regular season ends at Marion. And that one went off the elbow of Paxton Baker. Made a pretty big sound. Thought maybe it went off the bottom of the bat, but Baker trying to shake out her arm. First and second, 1 out. Baker reaches on the hit by pitch. Carly Friedrich batting with runners at first and second. First pitch strike from Huth, 0-1. Friedrich singled. It's one of those infield hits. Foul back and out of play now 0-2. Friedrich with that RBI single back in the first. Couple balls that were hit in the direction of Haley's shot that she was able to knock down, keep on the infield, but then couldn't record the out afterwards because of the speed of Bethel as Huth picks up another strikeout. 2 away, 4th strikeout for Huth, and it brings Grace Walker back up to bat. Blue Bomb at second, Baker at first. First pitch swinging, and this is foul on the first base side. Everybody on your toes when you're on the field, including the coaches in their boxes on the first and third base side of the field. On a line, Baker with a snow cone catch, and she comes running off the field with a smile on her face as St. Francis keeps Bethel off the board in the top of the third. Cougars coming to bat when we return to West Indoor Field here in Fort Wayne.
Is more than getting you back to your sport. It's about building a stronger version of you. Our team of experts uses state-of-the-art technology to build personalized care plans that get you healthy and back in action safely. With no physician order needed, contact us directly to receive top-quality care exactly when you need it. Call 260-266-4007. Visit one of our Fort Wayne locations or go to psmsports.com to learn more.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Haley's shot leads things off for St. Francis in the bottom of the third inning. Shot, Minnick, and Dowd, 4, 5, and 6 in the order. Scheduled to bat in this third inning. It was the third inning that produced 9 runs for St. Francis in the first game of the doubleheader between these two. 1-0, shot. First base side, and catch is made in foul territory for out number 1. So a couple of pop-outs for Allen against the heavy part of the order in terms of your power for St. Francis. See if she can continue to do it against Minnick and Dowd. Really 2 through 6, all with pretty good pop for St. Francis offensively. Minnick singled and eventually scored in the first inning. 4-2, Cougars in front of the Pilots of Bethel. Second game of our doubleheader, 14-3 in 5 innings. Game 1 in favor of St. Francis. Count at 1-1. Off speed inside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Keeping our eyes on the weather still. Potential rain heading our way. 2-1. And Minnick now ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. Looks for the most part like the weather's going to stay to the north of us now, which is potential nice break. 3-1. Called strike to Minnick. It's 3-2. Payoff pitch. Minnick draws the walk. And a runner aboard with 1 out for Macy Dowd. Dowd with an RBI ground out in the first. Lily Pierce to hit next. Dowd, first pitch swinging, lifted in the air out to right field, and coming in from right, White will make the catch. 2 away for Lily Pierce. One ball, no strikes on Lily Pierce. Singled and was thrown out trying to steal second back in the first inning. This is up high on the fastball from Allen, 2-0. Lena Vigiano would hit next. Good pop of the glove, but Pierce able to take ball 3. It is a strike, popped out of the glove of the catcher, Friedrich, and moving up to second base is Maddie Minnick. Now a 3-1 count, and a single for Pierce should produce a run here with Minnick's speed at second. Three-one count on Lily Pierce. Bottom of inning number 3. Pierce popped it up, and it goes back off the screen behind the plate. 3-2. All 4 runs for St. Francis coming in the first inning. Looking to get things going against Allen. 3-2 fouled off. Pierce staying alive as the catcher Friedrich couldn't hang on. Minnick at second. Full count. Here's the 3-2. Pierce into center field. Minnick turning around third, heading for home. Throw is cut off. RBI single for Lily Pierce. And it is 5-2 St. Francis. And that's how important that wild pitch pass ball ends up being, as you move Minnick into scoring position, and she's able to score on that hit because of it. Pierce with the RBI to make it 5-2. First pitch misses to Vigiano. She grounded out to second in the last inning. Vigiano, the 5th batter of the inning for St. Francis. 5-2, Cougars on top. This one to the backstop as well. 2-0 count. Pierce moves to second. Two and 0 count on Vigiano. And now 3 balls and no strikes to Vigiano. First base unoccupied, 2 down. Bottom of the 3rd. 5-2, St. Francis leading. Emma Howdeshell, 9 spot in the order, due up next. Trying to produce something with 2 outs here for St. Francis. Vigiano takes a strike to make it 3-1. Vigiano fouls it into the glove. 3-2. Chance that Pierce could be on the move here with this 3-2 pitch, even though she doesn't have to be. 3-2. Vigiano draws the walk, ball 4. First and second, 2 down. Emma Howdeshell up to the plate. Howdeshell walking in the last inning. Was left stranded over at third. And now a break for Bethel, talking things through with the infield, what they want to do in the event of a stolen base potentially here. Where to go with the ball if it's hit in your direction. Pierce, the runner at second. Vigiano aboard at first. And Mahowdashell at the plate. 5-2, St. Francis leads, bottom of the third. There's some thunder rolling through the area. Up in the zone, ball one. That was not something you want to hear. Certainly, the direction the camera's pointed right now doesn't look so bad. The other way behind us, a little bit darker skies. Wave and a miss at the 1-0 pitch now, 1-1 on Howdashell. Vigiano at first, Pierce at second. 1-1. Up high, 2 balls and 1 strike. Sam Baker, top of the order, lurking. Bottom of the third, 5-2 Cougars. Allen, 2-1. High, 3 balls and 1 strike. Again, potential rain moving into our area. 3-1 to the backstop, ball 4. And the bases loaded with 2 down. St. Francis, a golden chance all of a sudden with 2 away. Baker 1 for 2 on the day, singled and scored in the first, grounded out to first in the third. And instead of Allen facing Baker, will be a new pitcher coming in for Bethel. 5-2, St. Francis leading in the bottom of the third. Still 2 outs.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The athletes has always been here, and they're getting better. I'm watching, Summit City Sports, man, they're doing an awesome job. And, that's a plug. Them dudes are doing an outstanding job. And I'm able to be in Nashville and watch games on YouTube that they're broadcasting, and I'm seeing the talent. And it is just truly outstanding. And, you guys have seen the talent that's in the NFL now from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the talent that's coming up now, and the talent that, is just here, man. It's really cool.
Ryan Clare is the new pitcher for Bethel. Clare making her 19th appearance of the season. This is her 5th appearance in relief. 8.16 ERA over 58 innings pitched this season. Bases loaded for Sam Baker, bottom of the third. St. Francis trying to blow this game open. First pitch to Baker, misses low and away, ball 1. 5-2 Cougars, but if Baker can find a gap, take one down the right field line or split the gap in right or left center, a chance that this game could go and balloon to 8-2 pretty quickly. 1-0 is low. 2 balls and no strikes. A little bit of a different delivery for Ryan Clare, the sophomore out of Flat Rock, Michigan. Gonna try to adjust to that little hop. Comes from her pitching. Too far inside on Baker, 3-0. Baker takes ball 4, And that'll bring in a run for St. Francis to make it 6-2. Peyton Iliff coming to the plate. Well, the base is loaded. That is the third consecutive walk issued by Bethel. Iliff, well, the base is loaded and 2 down. And that misses away. Ball 1 from Ryan Clare. Clare struggling to find the zone out of the bullpen. One-0 is in for a strike to Iliff, 1-1, and had a feeling that St. Francis was probably taken all the way there until they saw a strike after that first batter walked against the reliever in Clare. Off speed, found the zone to Iliff to make it 1-2. Bottom of inning number 3, 6-2, St. Francis leads. Bases full for the Cougars. Trying to blow this game wide open. 1-2. Too far outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vigiano at third. Howdeshell at second. Baker at first. 2 outs, 2 balls, and 2 strikes in the bottom of the third. Peyton Iliff at the dish. Iliff fouls it off to stay alive. We'll see at least one more at 2-2. Had a bunt in the first inning. An errant throw got her on base. She eventually scored. She walked in the last inning. Third plate appearance already for Iliff. 2-2. Up high, count full on Iliff at 3-2, and now runners will be on the move for St. Francis as the rain starts to drop. Three-two pitch. Iliff fouls it away. Count remains full at 3-2, and look at everybody headed for their cars or somewhere out of the rain. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Iliff. The payoff pitch. Dribbler back towards the middle. Throw to first is in time. And we are through 3 innings. 6-2, St. Francis leading Bethel, and we'll see if we'll continue. Just rain for right now, so should be good to keep going at this point, but a chance that we could have a delay potentially here in the 2-6-0. 6-2, St. Francis leads Bethel.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 2-6-0's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
The rain is really coming down all of a sudden here in Fort Wayne, and the tarp is going to be rolled out onto the field here at St. Francis and Weston Dorf Field. Our score 6-2 in favor of St. Francis in the top of the 4th inning, and we are officially in a weather delay. So we are going to take a break here. We'll mute our microphone once again, and you'll be able to tell when we're ready for action again in this one, as the tarp is being taken out onto the field for St. Francis, top of the 4th inning, and we are officially in a weather delay. All right, we welcome you back here to Westendorf Field. This rain delay is going to result in a suspension of play today, so we will be done for at least this Monday night. 6-2, top of the fourth inning. St. Francis leading Bethel, and this game will be suspended due to weather. There was just lightning in the area. Every time there's lightning, the clock to get people back on the field resets to 30 minutes, and 30 minutes from now, we're looking at more rain coming our way. So, decision has been made, and even if we make it out of that window, we're dealing with no lights here at St. Francis for softball. So, be playing in the dark, and we're not going to do that. So, this game is going to be suspended for rain, and there will be a makeup date at some point for this game. We're not sure yet when that makeup game will be. Obviously, won't be tomorrow. St. Francis out at Mount Vernon Nazarene tomorrow for 2 games. Potentially Wednesday, potentially Thursday, if both teams can make that happen. We may get into next week as well. Who knows? But this game has been suspended due to rain in the top of the fourth inning of game number 2 of the doubleheader. St. Francis leading Bethel 6-2. You can always head to the Cougars Athletics website to check out the latest happening. That's where they'll have that updated schedule coming up for the next game against Bethel. Next game up at Mount Vernon Nazarene for 2 tomorrow. We're back here on Saturday at the latest for 2 games against Taylor. So, game suspended due to rain. We'll have a makeup date eventually, and then we'll welcome you back here on Saturday at the latest, potentially before then. So next week is the guess right now for when this game will be made up. So we'll talk to you on Saturday back here at home for 2 games against Taylor. Again, this game suspended due to rain in the top of the fourth inning. St. Francis leading 6-2. Have a great rest of your Monday night. We'll talk to you on Saturday. Make sure you stay tuned in to the St. Francis Athletics site to know when this game will be made up. More than likely some point at next week.
The future is what you make it, so make it matter. At the University of St. Francis, we'll help you build a purposeful life, one based on your interests, goals, and desire to make the world a better place. Learning is personal here. You'll be known by name, supported by experts, and connected to professional opportunities. Our Catholic values will inspire you to use your education for the greater good by serving and leading others. Remember, the future is what you make it. Build a life of meaning and purpose at St. Francis. You belong here.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead Girls Golf Team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back